สวัสดีค่ะคุณสุขินค่ะ
ครับสวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์ครับ
สวัสดีค่ะท่านอาจารย์คะกราบค่ะวันนี้เห็นว่าคุณแอนจะเข้าด้วยค่ะ
ค่ะใครก็ได้ค่ะเชิญเลยเริ่มเลยนะคะ
กราบ
ท่านอาจารย์เดี๋ยวก่อนที่นั่นเราเริ่มคือเสาร์หน้าผมจะมีนัดหมอมาไม่ได้นะครับเสาร์หน้าวันที่
Namaste John. Namaste Sati.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณประกาศ
Namaste.
Namaste
คุณจิ๋วก็ดำเนินรายการแทนคุณสุขินนะคะเสาร์หน้า
อาทิตย์หน้า
ว่างไหมคะ
ค่ะ
ว่างนะคะ
เสาร์หน้า
ค่ะ
เสาร์หน้าน่าจะได้ค่ะ
ค่ะเชิญเริ่มเลยค่ะคุณประกาศมาแล้ว
Prakash we start now
Yes.
we can start with you you have anything
Yeah. I just noted. I would like to understand samadhi and samatha. What is the difference? And wanted to have understanding.
เดี๋ยวนี้จริงๆแล้วเนี่ยทุกคนเนี่ยทุกขณะเนี่ยอยู่ในความมืดหรือในความสว่างความจริงมันต่างกับที่มันปรากฏระดับที่คิดไม่ถึงในพระปัญญาคุณของพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าระดับนั้น or any term is so very subtle so just one word at a time in order to really understand it what word
Samadhi.
okay what is it
Samadhi is concentration.
or one-pointedness or focus it depends on the degree and the function of each different moment so what reality is it is it real
This is real, yes.
what reality is it
It is one of the Chetasika.
okay what does Chitasika mean
It does the role of focus or concentration.
is it real
Yes.
it is the reality which experiences the object right
Yes.
but it's the one which experiences the object with one-pointedness focusing or concentrating and there are many degrees of what you say samadhi that's why we have to understand in truth when it's just a reality which arises experience the object but not the chief not the citta because it's cetasika its quality or its function is different from citta and other cetasika at any moment citta experiences the object Cetasikas arising with that citta performing each different function because of different quality. So samadhi is a reality, a cetasika arising with each citta. The truth cannot be changed at all. No matter you read from Sutta or Vinaya or whatever about the Indriya or no matter about Dhatu or anything, it's real. It's a kind of reality which has to arise with citta and experience the same object of citta. Since it's not the chief, it is focusing on that object. So it arises with each moment of citta. Never change. It's that samadhi at moment of birth.
Yes, because it arises with each chitta.
That's it. Performing what function? at birth?
Function of focus and concentration.
Focus on the object of birth. See? And when the birth consciousness gone, what is the next moment?
It is seeing, hearing.
No, not suddenly, not instantly. After the birth consciousness gone, it conditioned what particular reality to arise. What kind of citta?
I don't know the name of the chitta, John.
Okay.
Prakash, you consider that birth is just one moment, one short moment.
Yes.
Can it be followed by seeing, touching, or anything through the body sense or through the eye? Because those prasada rupas also have to be conditioned to arise. Do you think that they arise immediately and they can be seeing, for example, or hearing immediately after birth? But there must be some chitta, right? And what do you think that chitta follows? What kind of chitta?
Adverting conscious.
Panatan,
That's
sorry, I
why
interrupted.
That's why we have to learn so carefully, very, very subtly about reality right now. It's that which Buddha had enlightened and who's him? Why not the other enlightened? The truth like him? No, not enough understanding at all. That's why how far apart from the understanding of anyone and the Buddha. That's why study with respect to understand the very subtle and very deep moment of reality right now. That's why we learn to understand pariyatti. All realities conform because there's understanding of each one as เดี๋ยวนี้จริงๆแล้วเนี่ยทุกคนเนี่ยทุกขณะเนี่ยอยู่ในความมืดหรือในความสว่างความจริงมันต่างกัน What is the birth consciousness in Bali? Should we have just one word of Pali at a time? Just collect the term which represent the reality which has been studied and understood enough, not just remember the word but no understanding at all, but learn to understand each moment เดี๋ยวนี้ what จ is
ริงๆแล้ว
that
เนี่ยทุกคน
so they are
ทุก
different
ขณะ
that's
เนี่ย
why the words
อยู่
for it
ใน
is
ความ
different too so we learn to understand the truth and begin to understand what is the Pali term for it. In order, when we read the Tipitaka or any word in Buddhism, the teaching of the Buddha, there can be the understanding so firm, so correct about each different moment. So now we begin with the birth consciousness, which what you say samadhi or ekakata cetasika arises with each moment. So one more word, ekakata cetasika. Please repeat that.
Ekagata chetasika.
Okay, again please.
Ekagata chetasika.
Not forgot, right?
Yes.
Again please.
Ekagata chetasika.
Okay, ekakata cetasika arises with each citta. No matter what moment at all, because citta arises with cetasikas, they condition the other to arise, each other. So, ekakata cetasika, condition citta, it is one pointedness to the object, so citta is the chief of experiencing that object clearly. So we learn to understand more about citta from moment to moment and with what kind of cetasika. So the ekakata cetasika arises with each citta. Okay? And what is the word for patisanti citta in Pali? What is the word for birth consciousness in Pali? One more Pali term.
Patit sandichitta.
Patisanti Citta. Pati is particularly, Santi is followed. After death consciousness, the only Citta, the proper one, no other Citta cannot follow it. But this Citta, the birth consciousness, instantly arises after Jutti Citta. That's why the word Pati, special or proper Citta, which has to arise after death, because it performs the function of birth. Pati Santi Citta, it arises after death. So Pati Santi Citta, no other Citta cannot arise after death. Only this one. That's why after death, instantly birth followed, succeed instantly, no gap in between the death moment and the birth moment. Is that Ekakata Cetasika at moment of death consciousness?
Yes, it should be there, Ajahn.
Okay. Can the death consciousness be the Patisantichitta?
Yes.
Again, listen carefully. Can the death moment be the first moment, the Patisantichitta, after the
No.
death has gone? That's why.
Yeah.
So the Patisantichitta arises with Ekakata Cetasika, and Ekakata Cetasika arises with that consciousness. Are they the same?
Both are different chittas.
That's why we learn little by little all Adhamas from birth. And have you heard about the word for death consciousness?
I
The
heard the
Pali
word.
term, the Pali word, Jutti,
Yeah,
Jutti, Jutti Chitta.
Chuti chitta. Chuti chitta.
So now we learn in English death consciousness, birth consciousness. Now we learn about the Chitta, which is death consciousness, the Pali term. Jutti, the end of karma. Never be that person at all after that moment has gone instantly. New person, birth continue or succeed instantly. That's why Jutti Chitta is what moment? What
Yeah,
moment?
Chuti chitta is the last chitta of the current life.
That's why we call it death consciousness. If death consciousness hasn't risen yet, can there be Patisantichitta?
No,
Not at all. See,
no.
when we understand, no doubt, and not not forget at all. See, whenever you hear the word Juticita, you know what moment. And when you hear the word Patisantichitta, you know instantly. That's why we learn to understand Dhamma in Pali. That what does it mean? Jutti, Chitta, and Patisantichitta. And can Jutti Chitta, which condition Patisantichitta, be down, be desired? Who knows? Anatta. That's why learning about the truth of each moment is to understand the nature of anatta. Nothing can be taken for anything at all, not permanent at all. So it's just the way it is, arises and falls away so very quickly, non-stop, on and on and on. That's why it covers the truth, not to be known, as it is. Each moment is different by conditions. So after birth, after death consciousness has fallen away, what after it? What arises after it?
After death, consciousness
Yes.
fall
What
away.
what?
Patisandhi chitta,
But
if
it's
I am right.
sensitive thing, no matter
Yes.
in what world at all. So now we talk about samadhi, ekakata cetasika at moment of birth is vipaka, conditioned by karma. That's why we learn to understand citta. When it arises to be kusala or akusala, the cause, for vipaka, the result. That's why we have to learn. But there are cittas which is not either result or cause. Kiriya citta. Little by little, learn about what is there in life, not just open the book and follow it, no understanding of this moment at all. It has to be study life, study Dhamma, studying what is there right now. That is the studying of the words, the teachings of the Buddha, to understand the very deep and very subtle of each moment. Otherwise, it's not the Buddha, the enlightenment. So now you live in the land of the Buddha. Who knows
Yes.
how many lives gone with hearing or not hearing at all about the words of the Buddha, or some life it's their heard, and so on, little by little, to condition moment of hearing it again right now by conditions. That is anatta. No matter what understanding about what is true in life, it leads to understanding the anatta-ness. No one at all are dhammas. And it's not just a word, it's the truth that can be realized. So, can ekakata cetasika be realized? Can ekakata cetasika be realized? Not just saying samadhi, not any understanding at all, but begin to have firm confidence of Dhamma. It's real. So it's a Dhamma. And it's not citta, it's not the chief of experiences, but it's cetasika. And it arises to be one-pointedness when it's there arising together with citta. Not forgotten. From now on, firm confidence, firm confidence.
Yes, sir.
But citta is so different from moment to moment, from no understanding at all until moment of enlightenment. That's why ekakata cetasika has different quality according to citta, which is there it arises with. That's why there are many words for ekakata cetasika, like samadhi. But it's not just a word, it's a reality. It arises with each citta, performing just only function, one pointed to the object. No matter the object is nibbana or whatever, it has its function as that. But different levels, so there are many different words for it. One word is samadhi.
There is a different level of ekagrata, Acha.
Say again, please.
There are different level of ekagrata.
There are many differences of each reality, even softness or hardness, which cannot experience the object. See? And that's the way Dhamma is, or a Dhamma, or conditioned by condition, different moment of condition, different length, or different degree of conditions. And that's the word. What is there now? Is conditioned by so many conditions. And as soon as it falls away, never to arise again. Anatta. Learn to let go. The atta gradually from life to life, from moment to moment. That's the teachings of the Buddha. That's the way he developed in order to become enlightened to the truth of this moment. So now, yes,
Prakash, you know that ekagata arises with all chittas, right?
Yes.
So it arises with vipaka, it arises with kusala, akusala, and kriya chitta. And these different chittas, kind of chittas, are different in qualities because of different chetasikas arising with them, right? So those chetasikas condition each other. So different chetasikas condition ekagata. So it makes the ekagata also different in quality, right?
Okay. Example?
For example, when it arises with akusala, the ekagata is also akusala. When it arises with kusala, the ekagata is also kusala,
How
right?
ekagata will be kusala or akusala?
Because
Okay.
the different chetasikas that arise, they influence. So if the chitta is rooted in lobha, dosa, moha, it's different from chitta rooted in adosa, amoha, alobha, right? It has to be different.
My question is, when there is a attachment
Mm-hmm.
or the, let's say, the hungry,
Mm.
how the ekagrata will be different? It should
Different
be the
in
same,
quality. We're not
whether it is,
function is the same.
yeah, function should be the same. Yes.
Function is the same. That is correct. Maybe you're thinking about function and you're wondering how is it different.
Yeah.
The function is the same,
Hmm. Hmm.
but the quality is different. If it's kusala arises with kusala chetasikas, kusala roots, it has to be kusala also. If it arises
What
with
do you mean by quality? Ekagata quality changes with kusala different and akusala different. What do you mean
by
by quality?
quality, I mean just the difference in kusala, akusala, abhyakata. And also you can talk about strength when it arises with jhana. At the moment of jhana, the concentration is different from the concentration now, right? So you can see that although it performs
So
in
that is
each
basically
chitta,
different level of concentration, jhana or now, right? But concentration primary character remains the focus or
yes,
ekagrata.
that is right, and that is very good that you understand that way. That the function is the same, right? But it also is affected by the chetasikas that it arises with. Strong kusala, weak kusala, also different. Strong akusala and strong, weak akusala
So
is also
you
different.
mean when there is a strong akusala, the quality
Mm-hmm.
of concentration will be lower. When there is a
No, not
kusala,
lower. Let's not
is
take
that the
about
way you're
lower.
saying? Okay.
Not lower. I don't want to use the word lower.
Hmm.
Let's say at the time a thief is trying to open the safe. It's very strong concentration. And the akusala is rising again and again, one after the other. From, say, a moment of distraction is also akusala. And there's
Okay.
concentration also.
Yeah, that is also different level of concentration in that way.
Right. This is what Chan is saying, different levels of concentration.
Okay. Now, since you used some word called quality, I was just curious to know.
I use the word quality to show that it is also both level and the difference in jati. Jati means kusla, akusla, vipaka, they're different. Okay. Tanachan, please continue.
So now a little more understanding of one reality, different from chitta and different from other chetasikas.
So Ajahn,
So,
I have a question.
yes,
After Chuti Chitta, then Patisandhi Chitta, then adverting consciousness, then
not
birth
yet,
happens.
not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
That's why we
Okay.
talk about just one moment at a time and one reality at a time. Otherwise, no moment to understand the very subtle reality. It's just remembering about the word and what is there in the text, just explain what it is. But the moment that has been explained in the book has to be realized now, how subtle it is, not just the book. For
I
example, that
have a
is seeing
question,
right
Ajahn.
now.
How can we realize or understand Chuti Chitta or Patisandhi Chitta? It is still at intellectual, theoretical understanding, isn't it?
Can you realize anything which is so deep, only understanding the word about it? Just begin to know what is what by
Hmm.
word. But is that the moment of realizing? Without,
No, no.
without understanding a little more subtle
Hmm.
of the reality, it's impossible to realize.
Hmm.
It's so wrong, so dangerous to take the word of the Buddha as so very simple.
Hmm.
Only understand this can realize the truth. Not at all. Who's the Buddha? That's why paying respect to the truth, paying respect to the Buddha, paying to the respect to Dhamma, see, all are so true, different degrees, different level at all. That's why, would you like to realize the truth?
Yes.
No understanding of anything?
Not it. Yes.
That's why, do you want to realize the truth?
Yeah. Without understanding, not possible.
You don't know what the truth is at all.
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to realize the truth?
Yes, Ajahn. Want to realize, but it takes long time.
How to
This is a,
begin? How to begin?
this is the beginning. With
Little,
theoretical
little,
understanding. Yeah.
little by little what?
Yeah.
Hearing carefully, consider so very, very carefully in order to understand a little bit of that which is considered by some word the beginning of truth until understanding each word, each like concentration or samadhi or ekagata cetasika. If we don't talk in this way, can you understand that concentration or samadhi?
No.
You just follow the term, the word, the story in the book, in the text, right? But
Hmm.
each word of the enlightenment, each word represents a very subtle reality. That's why people go wrong, no understanding of the truth of a reality at all. Just follow the words, recite it, repeat it. But what about the understanding of samadhi? If I just say it arises with how many citta, different levels, and so on, can there be any understanding of it? Or just remembering how many citta it arises with? Is that true?
Yes, Ajahn. True.
And that is not the way of the first round of Arya Satya at all. Dhamma, see, what is Dhamma now has to be known without doubt at all. What is it? It's not just a word, it's real. How many moments, how many kinds, so very, very subtle. Understanding the subtlety of the reality taught by the Buddha, it let go the desire, the claim to experience it, to realize it. See, can it be realized instantly? See, no idea, no understanding of realize what at all, just the word. So this life is the moment of accumulation of understanding the truth of whatever is now appearing, which is so very deep. That's why there has to be parami, satya parami, be true to the truth. Without right understanding of the very, very subtle reality, how can there be any parami? How can there be any satya of the truth? Is that right?
Yes, Ajahn.
That's why, would you like to understand just one reality clearer and clearer, more and more now? Or would you like to instantly realize the truth of Ariya Satya by such and such way? Or see, that's why after his enlightenment, remember what Buddha said. Dhamma is so very deep, so very subtle. After his enlightenment, realizing the deep and the subtle truth of reality, so he said instantly after his enlightenment to the other.
Yeah, my question, Ajahn, Chuti Chitta or Patisandhi Chitta happened before whatever seeing, hearing is come into existence.
Again, Chuti Citta
Can
or
we?
Patisandhi Citta or what? Life begins at what moment?
Hmm.
Life begins at what moment?
Life begins at what moment? This current moment.
Life begins at the first moment of life.
Yes.
If there's no reality which arises to experience any object in this life, it's not life.
Yes.
And there must be the circle of birth and death. How long ago? It doesn't matter at all. It couldn't be understood because all gone. But what can be understood is just right now,
Hmm.
not previous moment or future moment. That's why we learn to understand it. How come this moment of hearing now in this life? See, in order to understand the truth of what is there now, hearing hears. See, usually it's I hear.
Hmm.
That's not true.
Hmm.
But the truth is a reality which arises to experience. Is conditioned to arise to see or to hear different moments. And this is not the first moment of life.
Hmm.
So we learn from the very beginning. Why? To understand the reality which experiences the object. Even it had happened long time ago. The first moment is birth, and on and on and on. Unknown.
Hmm.
More and more ignorance and attachment and akusala covers up the truth more and more, on and on. So how deep it is. That's right. Understand the subtlety of dhammas which Buddha had enlightened from his parami, developed how long to realize the truth of this moment. So his word is understanding that which has arisen now, so far.
So
But that's his
Prakash,
word.
you understand now what Thanachan is doing is to help understand the reality now, which is
Hmm.
the only
Hmm.
reality that can be understood.
Hmm.
So your question that arose in this discussion about Patisanti and Chuti is that how it can be known directly. Is it only just theoretical understanding that we know that the first moment of life is Patisanti and the last moment of life is Chuti? But Thanachan is leading to the understanding that if there's understanding now, can there be now without the first moment of life? And can this life continue to infinitely? And the Patisanti being result of karma, can it condition? Can it be that that karma will not end its result? I mean, bringing there's no end to the karma conditioning the result, bringing about result. No, so that is karma condition life. It has to condition the end, and it conditioned the birth, condition life, condition the end. So right now, after that karma conditioned birth, there is life now. And not only life as in the life continuing, there's seeing, there's hearing, means that it is going on. And so it's understanding this that you can understand the first moment of life.
Got it. I think I really got that now. So we don't need to try to understand what is already gone. When it comes, you'll understand that if you understand current reality. Got that point. Thank you.
Right. This is the only path. And your question about samadhi and samatha also came from because you've read the text or heard. There's so much in the teachings in the suttas about samadhi and samatha. So the question arises naturally. But Thanachan pointed out that samadhi beginning with one word, samadhi, what is the reality? It is ekagata cetasika. So through understanding this reality and which is there now, can you, the doubt about what the texts say about samadhi and samatha be slowly reduced? Right? Thanachan, please continue.
Is there any question?
Yeah, I just want to ask what we are seeing now. While seeing, there are at least 7 chetasikas comes together and seeing happens. At understanding level, do we really have to understand each chetasikas, or if we start doing that, it's going to be a thinking level, and thinking keeps happening, and then maybe try to get assume our imagination. Should we do it? Is it the right way of understanding or wrong way of understanding?
What you have heard conditioned by you, right? No understanding of Dhamma, right?
Do you understand this part?
I didn't
Prakash?
get this. Yeah, I didn't get this part. Yeah.
Thanachan is saying is that you heard about Chitta and Chetasika, that Chitta arises with Chetasika, and now because of that, the question in you arose about how to understand those Chetasikas, different Chetasikas. So Achan is saying that there is you before hearing the Dhamma. So when you heard the Dhamma, little knowledge is there, and now the you is coming to find out about how to do it. It's still the old you, the same old habit of wanting to find out, not just understanding. So it is very common. It is very natural. You're still new, and we all, me after 25 years, still a lot of you, I. So it is natural. But Achan is reminding us that there are different ways of studying, the correct way and the wrong way.
So Ken, if I can just add a quick word there too. I'm glad you brought up that point. Prakash, thinking's not a problem either. Thinking's not a problem. Thinking can be the object of understanding. Sometimes we think that gets in the way, or we've got to stop thinking. That of course, as you can deduce, is not right understanding. You can't say that. It doesn't make any sense in terms of Dhamma. So thinking is not a problem. It can be the object of understanding. The object of understanding is a non-reality. It's a concept. It's an idea. I just wanted to add that because people think sometimes thinking's a problem. You often hear this echoed among different people who teach Dhamma even sometimes. So it's not the problem. Look, and I want to quickly add too, I'm really appreciating your questions. I'm really appreciating your sincere commitment and attempt to understand Dhamma, or I won't say not attempt, but your sincerity. It very much impresses me. Thank you for your questions. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kunsukan.
I second that. I really am impressed with Prakash's interest and asking questions and wanting to understand. Really, very good. So yeah.
So I didn't get what is the right way of doing. Invariably, as by habit and condition, it tries to know, oh, is it a concentration, ekagata? Oh, the passa happened. Okay, this is passa, or oh, attention. All this keeps arising, those kind of thinking. So now, just understand that thinking is also way of understanding Dhamma now.
No, to understand the nature of thinking. I think that's what Sundara is pointing at, that thinking is not a problem.
Yes.
So when there's thinking, that is what needs to be understood. Even as a result of intellectual understanding, that's what it slowly, gradually leads to, understanding the reality now. Right? It will be understood at this point just intellectually. Like right now, the attention is drawn to the thinking, and there's no direct understanding of the thinking as just thinking, because it's very deep. It's chitta, it's very deep. But at least the understanding is enough to know that this is what needs to be understood.
And just another short point, if I may, to Sakin, just regarding ekagata cetasika. Yes, we know it must arise virtually every moment, but we don't need to have it be the object of our understanding. That probably may never happen. There's an example given in the suttas somewhere about if you go into the great ocean, just making an analogy of the Sammā Sambuddha's great wisdom. If you were to go into the great ocean and dip a cup in there and then be able to identify this particular amount of water comes from the Ganges, this amount of water comes from the Achirawati, this amount of water comes from another river, that would be impossible for us to do. But that is in the realm of the Sammā Sambuddha. He's able to do that, and that is simply breathtaking. It's simply amazing that he can identify. That's the wisdom of the Sammā Sambuddha. We don't necessarily, we know it's very helpful to know all the theory, and I think there was a question asked recently, how much theory should we know? That's going to vary from person to person because we all have different accumulations, but much of it can be very valuable. But as was pointed out earlier on in today's discussion, it's not. All of it won't be. It's not. You can understand, how many cetasika arise with what particular chitta, but that doesn't necessarily constitute understanding. The understanding, the theory, the pariyatti that you have developed or that can be built upon is a vehicle for deeper understanding to grow when we know that pariyatti is applied at the present moment. that the realities appearing now, be that seeing, hearing, thinking, whatever that reality is, more, not so much I'm talking about, when I talk about seeing, I think it's better to talk about visual object or sound or thinking. These are a little bit more, inverted commas, obvious. We can grasp those, but we know there must be, for example, seeing to enable the experience of visual object. So yeah, there is a certain amount of understanding that's vital. I probably would not go too much here, but I'm just saying that to know about the Paramatta Dhammas, they're really important. To know the difference between concept and reality. And when we talk about Paramatta Dhammas, we're talking about Chitta, Cetasika, Rupa, and Nibbana, although we don't need to talk much about that because that's the outcome of deep and profound wisdom. But it's really helpful to know certain things, that there are concepts that are not real, like cup and in trees and people and things. They're not real. But it's really important and valuable to know there are Paramatta Dhammas that enable that world, the conceptual world that we know. If it wasn't for those Paramatta Dhammas, Chitta, Cetasika, Rupa, there would not be any idea of a world. So they're the realities that are needed to be understood. Okay, thank you for that. Sukhin, I've said enough. Thank you. Bye for now.
So Prakash, what the example Sundra gave is that only the Buddha, his wisdom, can at any moment know what dhammas have arisen at a particular moment, all the dhammas that have arisen. The rest of us can only know what appears, and that's why he taught us is that our understanding can happen one moment at a time of one reality, and that's the key of that one dhamma, what appears now, which Achan, that's the reason Achan often reminds us, is the only object that can be understood. But the knowledge accumulates, and our understanding of all the realities gradually grows. So even though right now concentration does not appear, it's hearing about concentration and understanding what appears can slowly understanding of different cetasikas one at a time grow.
Yeah, I think each chitta or accompanied chetasika, it arise and passed away so fast. I think we will not be able to catch hold of like enlightened one. And if one continues to do that kind of effort, it is just a thinking, and maybe better to stop that kind of exercise. That's what I am understanding now.
If I can just add to that too, Prakash, it's not so much focusing on to stop that type of thinking, it's to understand the present reality and to know that, like we talked about that the other day, about Malankya Buddha, who said that he would disrobe, he would not stay longer a bhikkhu unless the Buddha told him about this and this and this and this. And the Buddha gave that example. He said, well, look, Malankya, you've been shot with a poisoned arrow. And do you want to know who shot who shot the arrow? What caste was he? Was he a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Sudra, a Vaishya? What was he? What was the feather of the arrow made from? There are some questions that are not conducive to the development of understanding. The Buddha said to Malankya Buddha, I've come to teach about dukkha, its cause, samudaya, dukkha samudaya. I've come to talk about dukkha nirodha, and I've come to talk about dukkha nirodha gamini patipada. I talk about the suffering, its cause, its cessation, and what leads to it. And this is what Tanajan is so often reminding us about, to understand the realities that appear. And the only way we can do that is in the present. It's not from the past. It's not in the future, obviously, because they don't exist. We can only develop understanding of the reality that appears gradually. The Buddha has said also that the teachings are like the great ocean, but when you walk into the great ocean, it doesn't drop down immediately. It is gradual. We need patience, and it's a gradual thing. And Tanajan often gives the example, of course, of the carpenter's apprentice, with that taking hold of the wasijata, it's called wasijata, the adze handle. When he starts his apprenticeship, the apprentice takes hold of that adze, and his imprint is not on that handle when he first does it, but after 10, 20, 30, 40 years of using that adze, he will begin to see his fingerprints on that adze. It takes time, so we know that great patience is needed, to develop the path. And the Buddha spoke about this in different ways in different suttas. We just needs to be patient. And most importantly, I appreciate what you're doing is associating with good friends. That's so valuable. Good Dhamma friends who have, appreciation and some understanding of the Dhamma, and who are willing to share that. And that is one of the great blessings in the Mangala Sutta, to be able to hear the Dhamma and listen to it and consider it. That is a great blessing and a great treasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Achan, please help us.
Is there any question now?
Yeah, the question come when the ask is just be with the current reality, whatever it is, like or dislike. Then what question I should ask? That question came to me actually.
Is there any understanding of this moment?
There is little understanding, Ajahn, very little.
So please, what is your understanding of this moment?
Understanding at this moment is that is seeing and seeing the object, but no understanding of that. Same with hearing, it hears the sound and always taken as I am hearing still, I am understanding still, and I am seeing still. That is what is I said, little understanding about it.
It's still the idea, isn't it?
Yes, Ajahn.
But the truth has to be studied very carefully, little by little. Sorry, I lost. Okay, now?
No, I can
Okay.
hear you. Can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Should this moment be realized? How to realize?
Yeah. Please help me little more to realize.
That's right. Just talking about other things, but no understanding of this moment. Is that
Yes.
the way or the path or the goal of listening to the truth of Buddha, of the words of the Buddha? That's why do not go away from this moment. Because each moment is only a moment conditioned, even from the past or the present moment. That's why, how come to be this moment? It just happened, or what?
Yeah, there must be some reasons for this moment, isn't it? It didn't just happen.
If there's no understanding, what is there this moment? It's impossible to understand the moment at all, any moment. That's why we learn to understand each reality in life from each moment, right now. So the question is, how come to be this moment? What condition it? careful, listening, considering, understanding. How come to be this moment? It's not the first moment in life, is it? Not at
Yes.
all. So there must be the first moment in life. Is it prakash at moment of the first moment in life?
No.
Not at all. See,
Yeah.
not
Mm.
anyone at all. But there
Mm.
must be realities conditioned to arise. Have firm confidence of the truth. Nothing can arise without its proper conditions at all.
Mm.
That's why we learn to understand each moment. It's only conditioned moment to arise and then gone, never to arise again. Have the confidence of the truth, enrooted on and on, growing on and on with understanding more and more, little by little, to understand the truth of each moment. That's why we talk about now, because when there's no understanding of what is there now, it's useless no matter how much we learn about Citta, Cetasika, and what and what. What about now? That's why learn to understand now. What is it? Again, to have
Mm.
confidence of the truth. Satya Barami.
Mm.
What is there now?
Yeah, seeing, but definitely I am seeing.
It doesn't matter at all. You call it
Yeah.
seeing. Anyone can say seeing now, hearing now. No doubt about it. But what
Mm.
is it? What is it? What is seeing? No, can anyone know?
No.
Without hearing about the truth. From whom?
Yes.
The enlightened one only.
Mm.
That's why each word should be carefully considered again and again and again in all aspects. Just to let go ignorance and no attention to seeing to know its nature. It's there gone all the time, and we learn the word about it. But what about getting closer to the nature of it? It's not just by hearing, learning about some words like samadhi and so on. Many realities all have to be learned to have more understanding of no one. What is what? Its condition to arise and gone. Is this the purpose of the teaching of the Buddha, the Four Noble Truths? That's why we don't go far away from this moment. What is there? More confidence of the truth. Is it known? What degree? Sure enough or not? That's why we can talk about any moment again and again and again to prove how much understanding of that very moment as it is, as no one, not anything at all. It's conditioned just to be there and then gone. Begin to learn about the first noble truth. Before seeing, there's no seeing. And then seeing is there and gone. What's the use? To arise to see and then gone. Exactly the same as when seeing hasn't arisen yet at all. So this is the world of that which just appear by conditions from nothing to be something and then nothing again, non-stop, no one at all. See, it's so deep, so very subtle. That's why Buddha always said to the monks, listen carefully, consider carefully, I'll say, see, each word. That's why if there's no understanding of the truth of this moment at all, what is the use of learning about it? Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, Dhatu, Paticcasamuppada, and on and on. If there's no understanding of this moment, is it useful?
Yes.
When there's no understanding the truth of this moment, what we have learned by way of Thatu, Patijasmupata, and so on, is it useful? Is it beneficial? Not at all. That's why learning to understand what is the best moment in life. Be true to it. Right understanding of what is there right now. Is it true?
Yes, John. In that way, the right understanding is whatever is arising and passing is due to conditions, and there is no one either able to create or uncreate, and just be with current reality. Whatever possible to understand that much, maybe little.
So there are 3 rounds of the Four Noble Truths. See, without hearing, how can there be understanding the most precious in life, understanding what is there now? Otherwise, there can never be any understanding at all, right?
Yes.
That's why this moment now is so very subtle because it's not known of its truth. No one knows until hearing about it, the truth about it, which is so very subtle. Because no matter how long we have heard the word, saying is conditioned by such and such, it arises and falls away and never to arise again. No matter how many 100,000 millions times, no understanding of seeing. By saying, by understanding, only that. Is that right?
Yes.
That's why Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths 3 rounds, the way to realize. The first round is conditioned for the second round, and the first round and the second round condition the third round. So don't underestimate. Understanding what is there now is the only way to realize the truth of Satchidhamma now, to be Ariya Satchidhamma, because it can be realized and it has realized Ariya Satchidhamma. That's why it's just the word heard, but about the understanding of the truth, about the truth of that word. That's why when there is understanding, no doubt about any question about it, because the pariyatti is so firm. It understands, not just remembering the word. So now consider each word. Is seeing now appear? Is seeing now appearing? Is seeing now appearing?
John is appearing.
Again, is seeing now appearing?
Yeah, when I say appearing, it is appearing, but no understanding at this time.
It does not appear at all.
Mm.
Only that
So,
which...
Prakash, what you're saying is that it is there, but the word appear means that it has, that you're experiencing it, it appears, is different from saying that it is there. You only know that it is there, but you don't know, but it does not appear yet.
Mm. Okay. When it appears, it appears.
Yes, it has to appear to understanding. But not actually, not really. What Achan is pointing at is that the seeing itself does not appear when we know that there is seeing. What appears is what is seen, the visible object. And from that, we infer that there is seeing. The seeing itself does not appear.
Okay. It means because of visible object, there is a little understanding that seeing appears. isn't it?
No, we come to a conclusion that there is seeing. The seeing itself does not appear. Actually, you have to understand right now from the very beginning that seeing itself does not appear.
Mm.
What appears is visible object.
Mm. Mm.
Same with hearing. Sound appears, and therefore we know that there is hearing. The hearing itself does not appear. Hearing is very subtle, more deep and subtle than the sound.
Mm. Mm. So it means if there is no visual object or if there is no sound, there is no seeing or there is no hearing, isn't it?
No, we cannot know that there
Mm.
is seeing and hearing without visible object and sound. But we can't come to the conclusion that sound exists only because of hearing. There is sound that is unheard, right?
Mm.
You have no doubt about that.
Mm.
So sound arises by its own conditions.
Mm.
But there is no hearing without sound. But there can be sound without hearing.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anachan, please.
How come to be seeing right now?
Conditions.
What condition?
Chitta, Chetasika, and Rupa conditions each other.
How come to be seeing right now? What condition seeing to arise?
Chitta and Chetasika.
What is
Achan is
seeing?
talking about seeing. So it's a particular reality. So the conditions are also particular. That's what Achan is asking. What is the particular, how come there is seeing this particular reality?
When you say particular reality, what do you mean by that?
I mean that the condition for seeing is not the same as condition for hearing.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm. So particular conditions, you mean, yeah, there is a seeing consciousness is a particular one. There is a light and there is an object. Is that the one you mean?
Yeah, you're on the right track, but that's what now you can answer the question. What conditions seeing?
Yeah. Yes, there. Seeing is conditioned by different chittas.
I mean, now
Chetasikas.
they're seeing. What condition to seeing?
I don't know because
May I say something here?
Yeah.
What is the jati? What is the nature of seeing? What kind of Paramattha Dhamma is seeing?
Chitta and Chetasika.
Yeah, but yes, we can say it's the chitta, but what kind of chitta in terms of jati?
Okay, it is a vipaka.
It's vipaka chitta. That's right. So we can say that it's conditioned by a past deed. It must have been some particular deed done in the past that that is a condition, that therefore is a condition for the quality of the seeing right now. And we talked recently about Ittha-Ramana and Anitta-Ramana, which Ittha-Ramana is the desire, literally the desired object. We like to have pleasant objects. So that chitta arises, and then there's a subsequent chitta. So we can say one of the conditions for the chitta that arises at the present moment is that the previous chitta has to fall away, and so on. We can talk about those sort of things. And I think, although this may seem irrelevant in some respects or not particularly helpful, it can be helpful at the level of helping us to appreciate that the nature of the conditionality of Dhamma, it's not self. It is completely determined by conditions at any particular moment, and that's valuable to realize. And I guess, like, I'm always appreciative of your questions, and we have still often this idea of what must I, what can I do, and that's always lurking in the background. Was this one of the asavas of desire to control? Always we might be Didasava, might be Karmasava, certainly it will be Avichasava, the different asavas that can arise in a very subtle way. However, we can realize, at least intellectually, that they're not helpful. There are, and Tanajan and Kunsukin are reminding us often there's the reality appearing, and that's real. The visual object is real, sound is real, thinking is real, and they can be objects of understanding. However, we don't do that, and that's why I think Dhamma is so very different to what most of other things that we have ever come across in life, because we have this idea, in other pursuits, that you must do something. However, within the Dhamma, understanding of the conditions that support the development of understanding are crucial. And there are 4 factors that are given in the development once you're to become a Sotapanna, to become Sakadagami, Anagami, and so on. And the first condition is Sapurisa Sangsewo. You have to associate with the wise person. That's crucial. And then you have to hear what that wise person says. Sadhamma savanam. That's the hearing of the Dhamma. You have to hear the Dhamma. And then the third condition is to attend wisely. Yoniso manasikara. There has to be the attending wisely to what that wise person has said and consider it carefully. So far we can see there's nothing in there about a person who must do something. We must, of course, ideally meet the wise person, and that's determined in some respects by past deeds. That's the Sapurisa, the wise person. We must then listen to what they say. We must listen to the Saddhamma Savanam. That's the good Dhamma, attending wisely, or listening to the good Dhamma. Then there will be wise attention, yoniso manasikara. And finally, the fourth condition is Dhammanu Dhamma Patipada. So you walking in Dhamma according to Dhamma. So you follow the Dhamma as it truly is. And Ajahn is often talking about Satchinyana. So there is the walking in accordance with what you have heard from the wise person, having heard them and considered it wisely. And there's this ongoing cycle, if you like, of listening, attending, and walking in accordance with the true Dhamma. And that's a slow and gradual process that can be developed over time, but it does take time, and it's that Tanajan often reminding us of Satchinyana. which is a commitment to truth. Satchanyana, which is the commitment to truth, being true to what is truthful. So there must be hearing now. That's being true. That's the truth. We have a commitment to truth at that moment, when there is a commitment to an understanding of the reality as it appears. And now in the beginning, it's going to be very feeble and very weak. They call it tanutta, like it's very tender, it's very slight, it's very delicate. But like that's the same with anything. Like when you plant a tree or a seed, it's a little tiny seed, and it takes a lot of careful nurturing for that seed to grow into a tree. It takes time for that to grow, and the same with wisdom. It just takes time to grow. Okay, thank you.
And Prakash, I have no doubt and that the wise person that I've met for 25 years is Thanachan. There's no doubt, and I have no doubt that what she's teaching is in accordance to the Buddha's text. So I would like to go back to ask, because I interpret Thanachan's question one way, and you might have interpreted another way. So I would like Thanachan, without whom we would not have any understanding at all, to ask that question again, to know what her meaning was. And that's the thing, is that we always, and I can say for myself that there's no careful listening, but this is very important, careful listening. And even though the wise person is speaking, the fault is in us that we don't listen carefully. So I would like Thanachan to repeat again. Please, Thanachan, what is your question?
About this moment, always this moment, to know how much understanding or no understanding of the truth of what is there at all. Just heard about it a lot, but what is there right now? Nothing or something or what? Right now, what is it? Life is only one moment, exists in only one moment. One moment, what does it mean? See, we talk a lot in life about words of this and that, but what is there now? See, we learn to understand the truth.
Yeah.
So is now the truth? Is it
Seeing
true
is
now? Okay, seeing, remembering what seeing is, or understand what is seeing gradually, so very little at a time, because it's so deep. Is there any understanding of seeing now? You have heard a lot about
yes.
seeing. So is there any understanding of seeing right now?
Yeah. There is a self that I am seeing it.
Okay. Is that firm?
Yes.
No change? Or
Sorry.
it's just the word remembered?
No. It is clear. I am seeing it. No doubt
But
in that.
do you know what seeing is?
What do you mean by what seeing is, Ajahn?
Is it real?
Yeah, it appearing as real now.
Appearing
Which
again.
I am seeing is appearing as real now.
I am seeing. There is I. But is there I?
There's no
Beginning to
I.
have firm confidence of the truth. Gradually, little by little, it has to be eons and eons before there can be moment of realizing what we have talked about right now. Because it's so deep. So again, what is now? What is there now?
Yeah.
What?
Again, the same, the impression of I am seeing it.
No, that is the idea. That is the idea. But what appears now to be known? That it's there right now because it's so true. It's there now. Is there anything now?
I'm
Be
not really
true.
getting John when you say, is there anything now other than the object and seeing,
No, no, no,
which
no,
is
no, 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 no. Just be true to the truth. What is there now?
Chinese question is this: it's not. It's what's actually happening now, not what you heard about and remember. A chance question is not targeted towards your knowledge about Abhidhamma or about seeing. It's about being truthful to the truth, that there is always one reality that appears, one or the other. So what is appearing in terms of that? What is appearing now?
You mean whatever we have been heard and answered, something else is there?
No, we usually answer in terms of what we remember, what we heard before, and what we remember. So, for example, we say that there is seeing, and it is true that there is seeing, but seeing actually does not appear. So, we can't say with full understanding, with any understanding, that there is seeing, because seeing does not appear. So, that is just something that you remember. You're answering in terms of what you remember. But Thanachan is drawing our attention to what actually is study of Dhamma, and she talks about being sincere, the paramita of truthfulness, that how important it is, and they all go hand in hand together, support each other. So in understanding what is real now, the only way to understand now is to be truthful to the truth, what is really there now.
It's not the matter try to have the right understanding, but in truth, what appear, what is there now? Just simple question. So the answer can be anything.
I don't know, John, what exactly is appearing right now.
Now, what is there? Impossible that there's no nothing. What is there now? This is studying Dhamma, and if I say it's so true, avijja, no understanding is right there now, unknown, right?
Yeah.
That's
There is a lot of thinking when the question is heard. There is a lot of thinking.
okay. Okay, that's why I ask. And remember, listen carefully. Now, what is there now? Just now. What is there now? Be true to the truth. Anything that it appears to you, or what is there now? Do you think about it, or what is it? There must be now, right? But what is there now?
thinking rather seeing,
Okay,
thinking.
just one thinking. What is thinking? See, is there enough understanding of thinking?
Yeah,
And
thinking is what is Ajan's question? What is Ajan expecting to answer? Oh, I answered earlier already. I think
is
it is not a right answer to the question. That is a
is
kind
that
of thinking.
is that the word of the Buddha?
I don't know
Because
that.
when Achan is asking what is thinking, you answered correctly. Because when someone asks a question, then we have to think about the question, and obviously at that moment is thinking. Achan's
Yeah.
question is about the nature of thinking, not what right now you're thinking about this, what thinking about that. That's not the
Nature.
question.
Okay, nature of thinking arise and pass away. That is a true nature.
I mean, is that actually understood? The rising and falling away, or that's more thinking?
At times, not always. Sometimes.
Panachan, please.
Is Dhamma deep?
Yes, Sajjan.
Is it subtle?
Yes.
So what is thinking? Did Buddha say anything about it? What is it?
Thinking is also conditioned by many things, and thinking
Is that
things and
is
pass
that the
away.
answer? Is that the answer for what is thinking? What things? Studying Dhamma.
What things means, I really don't know, but I'm now assuming and answering.
Are
Thinking
you
for
think?
thing.
Is
Yeah.
thinking you?
No.
What is it? If it's not you,
It's
is it?
not me, it is because of condition and yeah,
But
the
you have to
interaction of.
understand. But you have to understand thinking, so you know what condition thinking, not condition the other thing. That's why you have to understand. That's the way to begin to understand how deep Dhamma is. Understanding is not easy, but it has to develop from hearing and wise considering little by little, so very little. That's why be true to the truth. What is thinking? Is it real?
Yeah.
And what thing?
When you say what things means what, John?
A reality which experience the object.
Okay.
Hardness cannot think. Taste cannot
Yes.
think. So it's different reality which arises to experience the object of thinking. That's why we learn not just the term Dhamma, Nama, Rupa, Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, but what is there now.
Yeah, it is thinking about what some words heard about that.
Excuse me, we don't talk about object of thinking, but we talk about thinking. Is that right? Because the question is, what is there now? And the answer is thinking. It's not wrong, but no understanding what thinking is. So it's I think all day from
Yeah,
birth.
yeah, yeah. Thinking is
And
also high. Yes. I am
and what
thinking, yes.
yeah, and what did Buddha say? We are studying the words of the enlightened one. So don't forget, what did Buddha say?
Yeah. Again we go back
That's
and
it.
yeah, like I am seeing, like I am thinking now.
Yeah, yeah, because it's so very deep and it has to be firm confidence of the truth. Satya, the truth, parami, so firm confidence about the truth, of the truth, on the truth, only in the truth. See? That's why it's the thinking.
Yes.
Prakash, so it does not matter what is being thought about, what
Hmm.
thinking is thinking about.
Hmm.
The point is to understand the thinking,
Hmm.
not what it is thinking. It does not matter what you are thinking about Dhamma or thinking about anything else.
So, what
The
do you
point
mean
is
by
to
understanding the thinking? Is it one way of understanding? Is still there is a illusion that I am thinking? That is one way of understanding. And
and at
second
that
way is,
moment there is the reality of thinking. Without the thinking, there be that illusion of thinking, that idea about the illusion of thinking? There must be thinking.
yeah,
So we do not understand that yet. We are just hearing about it, but there can be understand, and that is the only true object of understanding, right?
now when you say that moment of thinking, can you please repeat your previous sentence?
No, I'm saying that we only hear at this moment you few months you've heard about. I have for 25 years have been hearing about thinking, but there is still no understanding about the reality of thinking. Slowly, we first have to distinguish in our minds intellectually that it is real, that the thinking is real, right? And it thinks about various things. Without that reality, can there be the idea of Paramatha Dhamma? Without that reality, can be the idea of India? Without that reality, can there be the idea of Thailand, or the idea of Prakash, or the idea of I, or the idea of Thanachan? So there must be this reality which thinks one moment this, one moment that, one time right, one time wrong, one time kusla, one time akusla. So that thinking is a kind of reality. And this is what Achan is talking about for us to understand. We understand, like seeing is one kind of reality, thinking is also one kind of reality to be understood. Achan, please.
And that is Kun Sukin's understanding. What about Kun Prakash? Understanding? Is it enough firm from the very beginning to understand even seeing? Because it sees all day or any time in life, but it's not known as it is. Beginning to understand that seeing for sure, but no understanding of the truth. And who understand? Who enlightened the truth? Who taught us about the nature of seeing? To be studied, to begin to understand, to have no doubt about the meaning of it, but the reality of it is not yet realized. That's why there must be the development of understanding, stage by stage, firmer and firmer. If the first level of understanding is not firm enough, it cannot condition further understanding, deeper understanding, more subtle understanding. That's why do not forget to understand the truth, whether it's understood or not yet. Just learn about the word. So now we have to understand what is seeing. Can a tree see?
No.
Can a dog see?
No.
Dog,
Dog also can
cat.
see. Yeah, dog also can see.
Can a cat see?
Ajahn, here there are two answers. It comes to me. Dog also can
Okay.
see. It has ability to see. But are you asking when we see a dog, is it an
Not
idea or?
not my question about that. Just one question about one reality. To understand whether how much understanding of that reality or just hearing very superficially about the word is known, like I see, you see, no doubt. Everyone knows a cat see, a dog see. But what is seeing? See, no thought about it in life from life to life until understanding is so real. But it cannot be anyone at all. Seeing is just seeing itself. It cannot be hearing, it cannot be thinking. So begin to have firm confidence of the truth of each moment, of each reality, which is so deep, not just one reality only in the world, so many, numerous, uncountable, even right now. That's why learn with respect to understand the very deep truth which is hidden for from eons and eons, 100,000 years ago. And this is the only moment of beginning to hear about it. What is there now? We hear about seeing, but no understanding of seeing as it is yet. So understanding who's the Buddha and what is meant by the 3 rounds of Ariya Satya. Begin to hear, to consider, to understand the truth, whether what is true and what is not true. I see, wrong or right. See, firm confidence little by little to Dhamma's anatta. Otherwise, Dhamma is now, this moment, no understanding, no attention to it, just talk about it. Is that listening to the teachings of the Buddha, to respect his great wisdom of realizing that it's so very deep and so very subtle. That's why we talk again and again. Why? About seeing, because it's then not known until it's known gradually, little by little, because Buddha had realized the truth of it. And he taught the way to realize the truth. So what is the way? Listening carefully to his word about the truth, to understand Dhamma and Anatta, no matter what experience, Anatta and Dhamma. Not I heard and I thought and on about the story of it. So is there seeing now?
Yes, Ajahn.
What is it?
Sees it, sees this object.
What is it? Is it real? Is seeing
Yeah.
real? So
Yes.
seeing is real. Seeing
Yes.
is a reality because there are so many reality, but seeing is real, so it's a reality because it's real. Whatever is real has its characteristic to be known right now that it's real. So it's a reality. What does it mean by a reality? It cannot be taken for anyone or anything at all. No one at all. Not anything at all. It's only Dhamma. It has its characteristic and its quality. For example, what is seen? We talk about people and things around, but what Dhamma is it? It's a Dhamma. It's real. It has its characteristic to be known. That is so true. Never be changed at all. Is that true? What is seen cannot be changed. But sometimes there is the idea, I see the water and sometimes I see the flower and so on. But what is true is that which is seen, never be changed at all. That's why we learn about Dhamma. What is it? It's a reality. It's so real and it is conditioned to arise little by little from confidence that it's conditioned to arise and gone. Little by little to know who's the Buddha, who's the enlightenment, and what is the highest, very precious.
Ajahn, we cannot hear you properly. Ajahn.
I see. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Is there any question, Kun Prakash?
Ajahn, no, at this point of time. Now, seeing, sees it, its object, but not understanding there is no one seeing it, there is no thing seeing it. I think that is a good understanding for today's discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Enough?
No.
Okay.
No, not it.
คุณสุขินค่ะเราเลิกเที่ยงหรือ11:30ค่ะ
ปกติเที่ยงครับท่านอาจารย์
คุณประกาศคิดว่าเราเลิก11:30หรือเปล่าคะ
Prakash, understand this discussion to be till what time?
Sorry, this discussion too.
What time does it finish normally?
I'm not getting the question.
This discussion, this morning Hindi, Thai Hindi discussion, what time till what time it? Because you just said thank you, and I thought that you were thinking that it ends at.
Okay. No, that is not the way. I mean, but actually, it is a 1 hour 30 minutes, right?
No, it is 2 hours that normally. But did you
Oh,
think it was only 1.5 hour?
I was thinking 1.5 hour that way. No, we'll continue the discussion. Absolutely, I'm
Yes, please.
happy.
So if you have any question, you can please ask.
The other
So,
program has
yeah.
only 1.5 hours, but English Hindi 2 hours.
Okay. I didn't know that again. Thank you for that.
A little bit more understanding, seeing. When there is
So,
the yes, please go on.
it is no one and no thing, but the self keep arising again and again each moment, Ajahn.
And what did Buddha say? Is it real at moment of I see? Is it real? Is it a reality at that very moment? The idea of I is there. The idea, right?
Yeah.
So it's yours, not you, right? So what is the unknown? Because it's so subtle, it's taken for something like I see, I hear. As soon as one wakes up, I wake up and I stretch my hair and I stand up. I stretch my hand, I stand up, and so on all day. Is it true? Is it real?
Yes.
So it's a reality, and that is wrong understanding. Michatiti, wrong understanding, because it's real and it's the understanding, right or wrong. So it's titi. When it's right understanding, it is sammaditi. When it's wrong understanding, it is michatiti. So diti is real, wrong understanding. As avijja, no understanding of the truth, it's real, it's a reality which cannot understand. As long as it arises, it's no understanding. So as long as there is the idea I, that is titi, wrong understanding. What reality is it when it's real? What is the reality of miccha titi?
That is,
What kind
again,
of reality? What kind of reality is miccha titi?
it is also reality. It is a
Yeah,
Chetasika.
right. That's why
Yeah.
learn to understand Cetasika one by one, not just the whole, all of them at once. But when it appears, when it's there, it can be noted. It's so true. It's wrong understanding with avijja because of ignorance. That is the wrong understanding. But when it is understood as it is right understanding. Samma diti, samma is right, and diti. And then another word for it is Sammaditi has many degrees. That's why there are different words for different degrees. Like panya. Have you heard this word?
Yes, Ajahn.
Panya. And jhana, another word for samadhi, right understanding, but different degrees. And vipassana, jhana, see, another degree of understanding. But the nature of it is a reality which is cetasika. When it's wrong, it is miccha titi. When it's right, it is sammaditi, but there are many degrees, so different words for different degrees of understanding. And for micchaditi, when it's so subtle, it is atta nutiti or sakkayatiti. So we learn to understand the truth before the word. If we just pay attention to the word, no understanding of the truth, just remember the word and talk about it a lot. But what about the understanding? When does it arise? And what kind of understanding, right or wrong? See, is it real? Whatever is real is a reality. No one, but anyone, any moment, there is wrong understanding, which is Dhamma. So learn about all Dhammas are anatta. No doubt or less doubt about it. No matter what is real, it's a Dhamma. There is a quality or reality of each Dhamma, but not try to remember the word, but the nature of it. Understanding, see, two kinds. Wrong understanding, I see, I hear, I remember. And right understanding is no I, anatta. So understand what is it in order to let go wrong understanding for I. So now, is there remembering?
Is
Is
there?
it real? Is it real?
Yes.
Does it arise?
Yes, Ajahn.
It's real when it arises. And the truth of it, as soon as it has risen, it falls away. The first noble truth.
Ajahn,
Dukkha.
the habit is to, the immediate habit is to
Okay.
remember rather to understand actually.
You are,
That is actually a challenge always.
are you talking about the remembering or memory?
No,
Remembering?
overall, when you teach us, try to remember rather studying it, rather understand and study and study and understand. That is a
Okay.
tendency. That is a tendency actually.
Okay. Know you. All Adama. All Adamas beginning to find out, to understand what Dhamma is it. You cannot find out by yourself. But what did Buddha say? For example, Samadhi, Ekakata Cetasika. So we learn to understand different Cetasika one by one, not just try to remember all, but what is that little by little. So there are many Cetasikas known now, like Sanya, see, Panya, Didi, and so on. Little by little. And this is studying Dhamma, not the word, but the reality which is there, taught by the Buddha, by different words, represent each reality. So when he talk about Dhamma, when is it? What is it? It's there right now, so close, from head to toe. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So Dhamma is not far away, right?
Yeah.
So very close but unknown. Never thought about it. Thinking about the pages in the book, the section of it, and so on. But it's there right now. Seeing. It's there now. So close. Very, very close. And what is the innermost? Is the citta. No one thought about it at all. Even it's there from birth, on and on and on until death. No understanding if there's no interest to know the truth. Study the word about it by the enlightened one, thinking, considering so carefully, a little more understanding all round about the truth. Pariyati. Otherwise, there can never be patipatti and pativeda, vipassana. Is it true?
Yes. Ajahn, during beginning of today's discussion, we had getting into each one reality, maybe a thinking, right? Figuring out this is panya, this is ekagata, or so and so chetasika. It can lead to thinking and analyzing. So now we are saying we can start studying one by one. Would you please clarify this question?
If you don't know what is samadhi, can you know that it is just one reality? When we talk about ekakata, see, that's the word, the cetasik, for the cetasika, which is the moment of one pointed to the object. That's why Chitta experiences it clearly. And the other
Without that, Chitta
cetasika,
cannot experience.
yeah, this is the way to let go the idea of self. So very gradually. But when there's no understanding at all, the idea of self is firmer and firmer. Each moment of seeing, I see. Each moment of hearing, I hear. The whole life, I. So it's a work. It's the life of ignorance and akusala and attachment. See, deeper and deeper down. So that because no understanding of even that is light now. So no one, just the way Dhamma is, conditioned reality arises to be different from moment to moment, never to return, never to arise again, on, unknowingly, avijja added, accumulated on and on and on. How long ago? Until the time of the enlightenment, taught about his way to become enlightened, the truth which is hidden each moment when there's no understanding. See, so in truth, we are living in darkness, but it looks like we live in light all day. See, but light is just a flash of seeing that which is seen, and the other doorway, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, all in darkness. But the truth, the reality, does not appear as it is to ignorance. Only right understanding which can understand the truth of what is there. So very little by little, because Dhamma is so very subtle. That's why this is the way to respect the enlightened one of his virtues of wisdom. Otherwise, no one knows who's the Buddha. Just pay respect to the Buddha, to the three gems. But what are they? That is not Satya Parami, because no understanding of the truth. Just pay respect. That's why Dhamma is not easy at all, because it's hidden and it had has been accumulated. How long? Even right now, this life, how long from birth? That's why pay respect to each word, that it has to be clearly understood, very little, gradually, little by little, clearer and clearer. And when it's the first round of the teachings of the Ariya Satya, it does not appear as it is, because it's not the second and the third round. It's just listening to the truth in darkness. because not moment of attending and being aware with right understanding of the degree that it has no doubt about that object, about the seeing, about the hearing, about the thinking, about what is there now at all. So firm confidence of the first round can condition the second round. Patipati, which without understanding is taken from meditation, but no understanding at all. In truth, patipati doesn't mean meditation at all. Pati is particular, and pati is to attain or to reach the truth of a particular reality. Patipati, just one reality, be studied, be attended by no will but by conditions. How subtle is more and more deeper and deeper. And this is
continue, please, Tan.
And this is paying respect to the enlightened one. Otherwise, there can never be any understanding of what is there in life at all.
And Prakash, so this direct understanding that Tanachan just referred to by the term pati means attention to the touching the particular reality, that is direct understanding. Can this be made to, what are the conditions for this direct understanding?
The primary condition is to the theoretical understanding first.
The intellectual understanding, right?
Intellectual understanding.
Is there any other way to have this direct understanding?
No.
By concentrating on, say, the breath, can that lead to direct understanding?
No.
Why?
See, now it is my realization when we sit on concentration, you have closed all the senses, in the sense you have closed the eye, and maybe keep thinking on something past, something or future. But when you are open environment and there is a seeing is happening, hearing is happening, and along with that thinking is, touching is, all these sense and its objectives happening. And I think this is a time to realize what is true reality or close to the reality.
We'll continue about this later, but in briefly, would you agree that it is because at those moments there is no understanding at all, means there's only ignorance, and ignorance just accumulates. So it's not a condition for understanding. So while we're accumulating ignorance, how can we expect that ignorance is going to lead somehow to understanding? It's not because the eyes are closed and there's no chance to understand seeing, hearing. Still, there is a Dhamma at that time that can be understood. Even when the eyes are closed, there can be understanding. But in that case, there is no inclination, no interest in understanding at what the reality of the moment is. It's just doing something with ignorance. And that is not the path. It's not the path of the 3 rounds of Arya Satya, understanding of 3 rounds of Arya Satya, as Achan reminds us, as you have begun to appreciate that the understanding has to develop slowly from the first round of Satyayana, and then Kichayana, then Katayana, Pariyati, Patipati, Pativeda. That is the only way, right? But we'll continue next time. I think time is up. Tanachan, if you'd like to say something.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
That's